What's up and welcome back to Nap Time Builder. We still packed up in here, y'all. The last video we did the power steering lines, the high pressure and the return. Those turned out great, no leaking. Honestly, the original ones wasn't leaking either, but you know, we're doing maintenance and trying to knock out some things. So that seems to be a common issue with these Dodge Caravans. You know, using my hood prop until I can get my hood prop up in there. There we go. This video, as you can see in the title there, we're gonna be doing the oil cooler and filter housing. And this is what she looks like. This is the upgraded version. I think it's supposed to be an upgraded version. It's aluminum. I think the original one is, this is full aluminum. The original is like pretty much plastic. So, you know, upgraded. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to not have the same issues. But apparently these oil coolers and oil filter housings, all the gaskets and everything, apparently it's a big problem on these, okay? If you look up Dodge Grand Caravan, I think it's like 2014 or maybe even sooner, all the way up to like 2020 or whatever. You look up major oil leak, this is what it brings you to, okay? I don't know. It's common. Got it? So that's what we're doing. Here's what it looks like. Look, it's obviously common because they even got their own little pre-molded plastic here. There, all aluminum. Sweet. Even comes with the sensors, new sensors there. So we ain't got to put the old ones back in. New gaskets for the intake and all that nonsense. We'll bring it over here closer with us. How about that? So, that's what we're working on. I guess let's get after it. Oh, and also, be careful, because this is a 2018. You know over half the crap under here is plastic, and I just broke some kind of little plastic pipe. I'm not exactly sure what it is, or what it goes to, or, you know, what it's supposed to be, what it's called. Either way, I got to get one ordered, and ASAP. So, yay me! All right, so update. That is a PCV valve hose from the PCV to the intake. That's what that is. OS shaped and everything. I went around and through the ringer, okay, trying to explain what it looked like and what it was and all this other nonsense. And should be there in the morning. Hopefully we got the right thing. Now let's continue tearing this thing apart. And me try not to pull what little of hair I have out, okay? All right. So right there, I got 4 10mm nuts. One came from right here behind this hose. The other one is right there. So 1, 2. And another one right here on this little stud. And also, it's a little dark back in there, but there you go, that little stud right there. So there's them 4. And then you pull this wire. I use my little fork tool and pulled these wire out of back here. And there's a little stud down there, 13mm. holding the back bracket on to all of them three. Got that off. And now moving a little bit further. I did break this right here also. I'm just in a breaking mood today, apparently. All this plastic, man, it's like not quite 10-year-old, but at the same time, I mean, it just gets brittle, especially just sitting here. So then you break it the first time you mess with it, so that sucks. But whatever, I'll throw a zip tie on that if I have to. All right, so next up, right here, got this little push pin. Just pull the center out of it. Then I use my little fork tool or maybe even your fingers to pull it the rest of the way out. I didn't really have no special plot. Them little bitty vice grips there was the best thing I could grab a hold of it with because it's kind of a tight spot. All right, after that pin right there, you can start wiggling this back and forth. It is very tight. And that is all that was holding it on there, that and the suction of it being on here. But I was scared to death, thought I was gonna break it too, so. My best bet, instead of wiggling it, after I got it moved some, I got my arm in here around behind and kind of bumped on it a little bit, just pushing it outward instead of just straight up wiggling the whole way. But that worked for me anyways. All right, now we can start taking off. What is it? These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it's 8 bolts to take this upper intake off. All right, and those are gonna be 8mm. All right, now when we take this off, you got to think, the engine's going to be open then, so try your best not to knock anything down in there, because then you're kind of screwed. But, you know, that's it. Try to make sure everything's out of the way. There she is. The upper anyways. This foam mess is all tore up in here. I'm really hoping none of that gets down in there. But let's see if we can. Pull this back out of the way. I kind of want to shove some rags down in there and then just dig that foam out from behind, because that kind of worries me with it being broke up and stuff like that. All right, so I plugged them holes up and I got a good bit of this styrofoam, foam, whatever it is. It's that same crap we had on the front there. But anyways, there's still some more down in there I cannot get to. But we're about to undo the injectors, pull the little red tabs, squeeze them, pull them off, check them off, make sure they're good, set them aside. And then we'll go around and get these bolts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those. And that'll be the lower intake we'll be pulling off. Once we pull that off, we'll be able to see the whole oil cooler housing assembly. While we're pulling this off, just like when we pulled the upper intake off, I want to make sure nothing falls down in there. If it does, try your best to get everything out. You know, common sense, but sometimes we still need to remind ourselves.
Like I said, we're just gonna set it over to the side. Oh man, there's stuff fell all in there. I'm gonna get the vacuum cleaner out and get everything that I can out of there. Some of that foam fell down in there in that center cylinder on the back side here. See down in there? I'm gonna vacuum everything up top. Then I'll get me some needle nose pliers and start picking everything out from in there, I guess. That's all I can do. I knew that stuff was gonna be a pain, but it was just impossible to get. Boy, that vacuum cleaner's loud. But luckily, just putting the vacuum cleaner up to the hole, it was able to get all that foam out of there. She looks pretty good down in there now. I'm going to turn my flashlight at. I'm gonna go around the top here, cleaning up. Well, I keep hitting my head on that light. I'm gonna go around the top there, cleaning up, because that's where my gaskets have to meet up. All of them that we'll be replacing. And then, oh yeah, I can see oil pulled up down there in the bottom. And then we'll start unhooking these connections. I got 1, 2, and then that hose one right there will probably be a booger to get to. I might have to lift that up out of there before I'm actually able to get it. But that's the plan. All right, well, she's cleaned off a million times better than she was. I will end up taking the vacuum back to it because look, there's some couple of small pieces of cloth or paper towel that fell down in there. But this is what we're taking out. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's another one back there. 5 bolts. And if you've seen that shininess back there, you've seen the oil pulled up. So hopefully this will fix our massive oil leak that we have. So we got them 5 bolts. Also got to take off these connectors here. There's one. Then we got this other one right here, and then we'll have to take that hose off. Then we ought to be able to get her out. You know, cross your fingers, your toes. I would say your eyes, but then you wouldn't be able to see what's going on. All right, here's what we're looking like. See all that oil pulled up down in there? We're gonna get all that we can. We're gonna check and make sure there's no O-rings left down in there, because obviously that would cause a problem in sealing and all that. So time to throw some towels in there, wipe it up, do what I can to clean it up best I can. All right, so here we are. I used over half a box of rags, and we're just now being able to see the bottom some. But some of them nooks and crannies are so daggum deep and narrow that it's just impossible to get it all. That was probably a good 1.5 quarts of oil just down in that valley there. And it's about impossible to get all of it out. So that sucks. But we're a heck of a lot better than we was, okay? So I'm about to check out my new part, make sure all the gaskets come out with the factory part, make sure nothing's in the way. We'll put the new part in, and then I'll worry about putting my new gaskets on the bottom side of the upper intake. We'll put it on, and then we'll swap out the gaskets on the top of the upper intake, and then we'll start putting this mug back together. So, you know, backwards of what we did. So here we go.
To be honest with you, I don't like working on newer stuff. This is my wife's everyday driver. I drive it just as much as she does, especially if I'm off work and I'm toting the kids around. Because I don't know if you ever had a minivan or not, but them things come in handy. You got two rugrats, man. It's easier for them to get up in and out and all that nonsense. And shoot, I've hauled full-size rear ends in this thing. The rear end for my '01 Dodge. I hauled her in here. Hauled so much plywood and lumber and all that on rainy days. I've pulled trailers with it. I've pulled scrap to the scrap yard on a trailer with it. I mean, it's hard to beat. You got to keep them going. I hate working on your stuff like this. So many wires, so many this, so many that. Nowadays, so much plastic. I pulled just a little too hard on that one hose. And that one PCV valve or hose snapped her in half. And that's all it is thick plastic. So, we'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. I'm about to change this oil. Tomorrow, antifreeze, PCV valves. We'll catch up. All right, y'all, and the next day we are back. Here is the broken hose. Here is the new hose. And then right down here, we got us some coolant, okay? Now, I'm pretty transparent, so I will tell you. Yesterday, I told you that I was going to drain the oil, put new oil in it since we had a new filter, all that. Excuse me. Well, let me just tell you. So, like, mad, don't even explain it. I went to drain the oil and, well, she was stripped. Like, the head of the bolt was stripped. I'm not so sure that the threads isn't stripped. I never got her out. The reason I never got it out, I probably could have, but I messed with it for a while and it never budged. And I probably would have went ahead and got it out, but I didn't have nothing else to put back in it at the moment. And I wanted to wait until I had the part to replace it to, go ahead and get her out. So I went ahead and ordered a new pan with a drain plug, and I ordered a gasket too, because hey, she got 130,000 miles. I'm sure she'd use a new gasket. Also, if I did get that plug out, I was afraid that it was cross-threaded in there. And if it was cross-threaded in there, then it probably boogered the threads up, and me putting a new drain plug in there on some messed up threads, I didn't want to run through the same problem, okay? So, after I put this hose on, and we top the coolant and everything off, I'm gonna let her run for a few seconds or whatever, get the oil pumped all around. We're gonna top the oil off, make sure it's good, and that's what we're gonna do. And then when that oil pan comes in, I'll just do that then. So, just so you know, hey, I'm transparent over here, okay? I mess a lot of stuff up, obviously. Look at there. Also, all that crap under there is dadgum plastic. And I told my wife she needs to find a new mechanic, okay? I'm just letting you know, that's what I told her. Because I'm scared to death. I'm one of them, I like working on older stuff, everything metal. You tighten that mug down, she good. This right here, you tighten that mug down, she cracked. But, yeah, so I told her she needs to find her a new mechanic. I don't think she can afford one, though. Because I know I can't, and if I can't, then I know she can't. Because I'd be helping with the bill. So, okay. Oh, shadow's in the way. Let's put the new hose on and top this baby off and be done with it, okay? Try not to break this one. All right, there she is, the top of it right here. And the bottom of it, right? See if I can, she is. There we go. That right here goes down kind of a S. Right yonder. She has a tight fit, so be careful with it. And remember, that's plastic. Don't be a fool and don't be like me, okay? I was a little iffy putting that on there because you kind of got to bend just a little bit. I feel like that if I'd have made it like half an inch shorter,
It helped it a lot. But now we're gonna top these fluids off. And old girl should be good to go. We're gonna cross her fingers, toes, eyes, legs, arms, everything, and say a little prayer, okay? All right, y'all, and there she is. She is done. Cooling is topped off. The oil is topped off. Running like a dream. My only issue now is right down in there. All the oil that had leaked out and everything, that's the path that it took out of that valley and down over the top of the transmission and to the back. I'm about to take this thing to the backyard, spray some degreaser around in there, hose her out, try to hose up under the bottom of it the best I can to get whatever old oil that had leaked off of it. That way, if I have another issue, I can tell it's new leak instead of, oh, you know, it's just left over from me being lazy. So, with that, there she is. Now it's time to get this mug out of my garage because I need to, I don't know, I need some room. I need a bigger garage. How about that? I need a bigger garage. So, thanks for watching Nap Time Builder. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps you out if you have to do this repair. If you have one of these types of minivans, you're going to end up having to do this repair or pay somebody to do it. You do not have to take off them front two brackets. I took them two little 10mm nuts off them studs, and after I had that back small bracket off and them mother bolts, she just come right out. She went right back in, no problem. So keep that in mind if you plan on doing it yourself. You ain't got to take them brackets off. I've seen some videos they took them brackets off. You don't have to. We'll catch y'all next time. Hit that like button. Help a brother out.